What is good? So now we're here with part 2 of the off-season video for the Titans. And so I'm looking at some guards in the draft, and we're going to go through a couple of the drills. You know, in fairness, sometimes I'm not as great in the first drill. Like, see, I just completely ran by the guy. That's not Lopez's fault. That's user error right there, we'll be honest. So I'm not going to hold it too much against this guy, you know. It's more so after the first one, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It'll be the second and the third, like, when I do them, is really when I make a decision, like, who's better? Who do I think is better for us, you know, and whatnot. Because, you know, when you're scouting, I mean, you don't always have the best workouts. We've heard a lot of scouting stories about, like, guys that go into meetings and workouts and don't always do the best, and they end up still getting drafted by the team. So, yeah. So here we go. We got this guy Duncan right here, and he's doing a better job. Also warmed up to the drill right there, though. He lets the guy go and get the sack. Sometimes with this drill, it is frustrating, I'll say, because you never know if you engage the guy enough that he's going to go back. So sometimes it's better safe than sorry just to pancake him. And then right there, he loses to the linebacker, and the linebacker's just a better athlete. So, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and let these run. But the plan is really just to just fill in some gaps with some spots we're thin at, and, yeah, go from there. So I'm looking at some of these guys right here, and 4.32. I mean, dang, is this Vernon Davis reincarnated from Southern University? This guy was running a 4.3 at Southern University? Dang. And then we got this guy. We got 2 4.23s here in the wide receiver room. One of them can only get 225 one time, and they both came from smaller schools. And then this quarterback's running a 4.3. What's going on here, man? This is crazy. I mean, let's see what this guy, he's a scrambling QB, 6'5", 235, great IQ. Shoot, this guy's going to have like Michael Vick speed in this game. That's crazy. So here's the picks we have. And so we're going to get rid of Cotton, who was a backup tackle. He almost beat out Stewart, if you remember a couple years ago, David Stewart, but we rolled with David Stewart. And so here goes the draft. And the Cardinals end up getting the quarterback, 6'5", 235, with the 4.3. And so now here we go. This is who we have on our board, McNamara and Gaffney, that we scouted. We're going to go with McNamara. And then Gaffney we scouted as well earlier, as you saw, doing the trench fight. We're going to get this guy Taylor. It's going to mess up Sean Taylor's jersey, so if you bought the other one, sorry. And then Millard we were high on, too, out of Syracuse, ran a 4.31. So I was high on all of these guys. So I think they were good. And I know the modern draft, they usually get 4, and then the first round, they get the 5th-year option. So that's what I try to do. Sometimes I get the first round pick like 6 years, maybe even 7 sometimes, because we can. But everybody else is getting a 4-year minimum. And that'll be what I do. Unless I think they're like really, really bad, then I'll give them like 3-year or 2-year in this. But usually it's 4 years with the 5th-year option. So that's what they do on the current CBA. So I try to keep it a little bit modernized. This guy's durable. He's got 99 injury McNamara. So there we go. And so I'm just looking at some guys. That guy Coyle that ran a 4.3 only got 84 speed. So that's interesting. So see, sometimes this 40 time, it doesn't translate to your actual speed, but we all know the 40 is an acceleration drill and how fast can you get to your top end speed. Like, for example, Chris Johnson. I think Chris Johnson had the best top end speed I've seen in my era watching football. I don't know. You guys can comment what you think, but I think Chris Johnson, he ran a 4.24 and it looked like he ran a 4.24. Hawk, as you see, got 92 speed. So this guy, Jermaine Foster, sitting here as a free agent. Runner-up to Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Raiders cut him, so I guess this guy was like their Jamarcus Russell. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring this guy in. His morale's all the way down, but if we can get him in to sit behind Vince Young, I think we could build this guy's confidence up, and maybe he can be a viable backup. I mean, he was the #1 overall pick. So 6'7", 235, great throw power, great throw accuracy. He's a bust. So he's got something to prove. So if we can get this guy right and be the QB whisperer for him, then hey, why not? But it is just crazy. It didn't work out for him in Oakland. So we're going to go ahead and bring him back. So we get Jermaine Foster and Seth McKinney. Dante Culpepper's going to the Bucks, so him and Landon James are going to be battling it out for the starting quarterback spot. Looks like David Carr went to Denver. That's interesting. Reggie Freeman's staying with the Colts. They got him in the first round, I believe, in Season 2. Chester Taylor to the Chiefs, Rudy Johnson, Jets, Deshaun Foster to the Patriots, Deuce McAllister to the Falcons, and Lamont Jordan to the Skins. See anything else? Travis Henry did not get picked up. He was our starting running back last year. Tyrone Calico to the Vikings. Braylon Edwards to the Bears. Eric Johnson to the Cowboys. Putsier to the Bills. Daniel Graham to the Bears. Kellen Winslow going to the Colts. Wow. I think they still have Dallas Clark, so that's going to be an interesting combination right there. Colts are trying to load up to beat us. David Deal, Saints. Rob Sims to the Colts. Sean O'Hare is going to the Broncos. Seth McKinney's going to be our backup to Eugene Amano. Damian Woody's going to the Skins. Stephen Neal to the Colts. Jason Peters is going to be a Jaguar. It looks like a lot of defensive tackles moving around. James Harrison to the Eagles. Hillemeyer staying with the Bears. Jeremiah Trotter going to the Seahawks. Rob Morris to the Falcons. Brady James to the Lions. Mike Vrabel going to the Cowboys. That'd be funny if we brought Mike Vrabel to the Titans, but he's getting up there in age, so probably not. I think we're good with what we got, to be honest. And so I'm going to kind of talk about this now because I have to remake this audio I'm doing because it cut out towards the end because I had added some videos into here. And again, I'm late with uploading the thing anyway. But we have a lot of not 1 year guys. We have a lot of guys with 1 year left on their contracts. So next offseason is going to be extremely interesting because we're going to have 50% of the team being free agents or pending free agents. So next offseason will definitely be very interesting, and we'll definitely do a season 6. I'll say it right now because of all the 1 year deals we have left. So, yeah, we got that. And I'm going to go ahead and show a couple of the guys that we ended up trading. This is preseason now. We are now in the preseason. Perez, dude was 57 overall. He was like Mr. Irrelevant. So we just went and traded him, bro. We got Amano and Seth McKinney. And this blew my mind, guys. Champ Bailey, the Broncos, for whatever reason, cut him. They cut him, guys. So he's been a free agent. I let him sit here from week 1 all the way to week 4. This is week 4 that I was recording. And at this point, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why is Champ Bailey even a free agent? Let's end this misery. Let's end this travesty and bring this future Hall of Famer to Tennessee for a season. So we're going to up his money. I actually ended up giving him $9 million, I think, for 1 year to come play for us. Because, I mean, this is a guy, 32 years old. He was doing just fine with Denver. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to keep him anymore. So I got to keep upping his money so he wants to come here. And, I don't see the interest really moving that much. But what else is he going to do? Be jobless or come play for us? And he can help us win football games. We're deep. He's not going to wear 49. We're going to give him 28 because Chris Hope has 24. But, yeah, he can help us win. And I think with our secondary, he can really fit in. We got a lot of guys that can play. And, Dre Bly's getting up there, as you can see. Antrell Roll is ready to go. And Atkinson, he's just better than Stephen Tulloch. You can just look at the stats right here. So Atkinson is going to be our starting middle linebacker. We drafted him in the first round, so he was expected to be the starter at one point. Here's the running back stats. You can go ahead and pause it over there. But we end up trading Tulloch to the Browns because the Panthers couldn't take him. They had too many people. But Landale White is going to start at running back for us. Chris Brown will be number 2. Carter will have his packages and rotate in. The plan is to get Carter starting eventually if he can show me something and win the job. And then receiver-wise, you'll see it at the end. Brandon Marshall is going to be our slot, even though he's an outside guy, because he beat out Brandon Jones. He had a better preseason than him, so Brandon Marshall is going to be our number 3 wide receiver. So that's all I got for y'all.